Hey, what's going on guys, and welcome back to another Warframe video. Today I'm bringing you guys my updated Mesa build. But before I get into the actual build, in case you don't know anything about Mesa, here's the TLDR. Your 1 is worthless, but just so you know what it does, it turns 1 bullet into a big iron. Big iron, big iron. Your 2 gives you and a teammate a huge gun damage buff, and it makes enemies around you retarded. They can't shoot, move, or melee. Your 3 makes projectiles bounce off of you, and it gives you 95% damage reduction. And your 4 just gives you an aimbot insta-kill button. So here's a guide on how to play Mesa.
Boom. Bam. Pow.
So yeah. She's alright. Anyway, let's get into the actual build. I have been doing a little bit of testing with her, and so far, this is my favorite build for her. By far. It gives you everything she needs and makes her obscenely tanky. For the aura slot, I have corrosive projection, but after some testing, this is totally optional, so you can keep the default V polarity if you want. You don't need to swap this over. And on her Exilus slot, I have her Mesa's Waltz Augment, mainly because it's become a crutch for when I play her. Like, I literally feel incomplete without this mod. But it's also really good because, in case you didn't know, rolling while you're in Peacemaker expands the reticle again, so you don't have to reactivate your 4, like, ever. Moving on, I have Primed Flow for energy and Fleeting Expertise for efficiency. You could just as easily run a Streamline if you wanted to, but I like having this much efficiency because it means I can just cast my 2 and my 3 on spawn. So for running ESO and things like that, you really do get a lot of having a bit more efficiency. So that's why I like Fleeting for this. I then have Stretch to counter some of the negative range, and Umbral Intensify. You only really need about 30% strength on Mesa, so this is pretty good all by itself. You don't need any more. I then have Prime Continuity, Narrow-Minded, and Augur Message for duration, and Umbral Vitality to increase our EHP by a lot. If you don't like Vitality, or you won't be running things like Arbitrations, you can swap out Vitality for whatever you want, maybe Quick Thinking if you like that a bit more, or another duration mod like Constitution, for example. It's all up to you. You have 16 slots right there to do whatever the hell you want. For my regulars, I run a pure crit build with corrosive and anemic agility. Pretty simple, but they pack a hell of a punch. Like I said earlier, this gives Mesa everything she needs, and it makes her very, very tanky for really high endgame stuff. Like, this is my favorite Mesa build by far, like I said. If you guys ask me what is my daily driver Mesa build, this is it, chief. For my primary, I'm back to using my Muse, the Sybaris Prime. This gun it's just great, and it's literally my favorite gun in the game. I run a standard crit elemental build on this, usually for radiation or corrosive. My secondary is the Pandero, and this is a pure slash crit build that I have because of my Riven, but you don't really need it for it to accomplish its goal at all. But basically, this is a tool purely used for taking down nullifiers and ancient healers, as well as serving as a source of healing for yourself, and you'll see why in a second. Now, I used to not bring a melee for Mesa, and it's absolutely not necessary to do that, so you don't have to if you don't want to, but it doesn't really make that much of a difference bringing one now since you have a pretty decent health pool. So I bring the Redeemer Prime. This is a healing return build, and the only purpose this thing has being here is to serve as a sort of pocket healing device, which works really well with the Pandero. The Pandero shoots very, very fast, so you can just riddle an enemy with slash procs and then melee them for a quick heal. But yeah, it's not necessary at all, but it is pretty nice just to have that in your back pocket. For my companion, I run Death Cube with his augment since I have Arcane Energize, so that I never run out of energy. But if you don't have Arcane Energize, just run a Taxon if you want some extra survivability, which is what I used to run with Mesa before. Or you can run Helios with his augment if you want some extra damage and utility. And if you do run a melee weapon, doesn't matter if it's a Redeemer Prime or not, having a Kavat isn't such a bad idea either, so you can heal them whenever they're low. So really, feel free to use whichever companion you want. It doesn't really matter. It's a very much to taste thing. Like, you can pretty much just use whatever you prefer. It doesn't really matter. Well, anyway, guys, that's my loadout. that's my Mesa build. I hope you guys like it. As always, if you guys have any suggestions, then please let me know in the comment section down below. Hey guys, just one quick thing that I wanted to add here before I end the video, and that is that I wanted to let you guys know that I did recently open a Patreon. I'll be talking about it a little bit more in depth in my next Monster Hunter video, but I just quickly wanted to let you guys know that I did create one. I'll leave a link in the description. You guys can click it and go check it out. Pledging as little as $1 helps a lot more than you guys can imagine, so I would really appreciate it if any of you are able to support me. If you like the content that I do here on the channel, I would greatly appreciate it. And guys, that about wraps up this video. I want to thank you guys so much for watching and supporting the channel. It really means the world to me. So I'll be back real soon, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Take care.